Hello again, my dear friends. You're listening to Memory Radio, and I'm your host, Lucy Vane. Tonight, as we settle into another quiet evening together, I invite you to journey gently with me back to Springfield, to a winter's night when an ordinary white envelope held something more meaningful than anyone could imagine. Tonight's story isn't about grand gestures or spectacular miracles. Instead, it's a quiet tale of hope, disappointment, and the simple yet profound realization that the greatest gifts we ever receive aren't things at all. They're moments quiet, warm, and shared among those we love. So gather close, pour yourself a warm drink, and let your heart softly open to the gentle lessons of tonight's story, when hope comes in a white envelope. As evening settled softly around the Simpson home, the gentle snowfall continued outside, quietly blanketing the neighborhood with its peaceful presence. Inside, warmth filled every corner of their cozy living room. It was a warmth that seemed somehow brighter, somehow more meaningful, precisely because it followed a moment of quiet disappointment. Marge sat quietly beside Homer, her knitting needles gently clicking in a rhythmic, comforting pattern. There was something deeply calming in the simplicity of her gestures, each stitch holding within it an unspoken reassurance. Marge had always been the quiet anchor of the family, a gentle strength silently guiding them through every quiet storm. Tonight was no different. Homer, leaning comfortably in his chair, allowed himself to feel the peace of this simple, quiet moment. He gazed thoughtfully into the gentle flames dancing in their fireplace, reflecting on the day's disappointment and what it had quietly revealed to him. He began to understand that true hope was more powerful than any temporary setback. Hope wasn't found in envelopes or bonuses, it existed quietly within each of them, in these small moments of genuine togetherness. Lisa sat nearby, gently turning the pages of her book. Yet tonight, her mind wasn't on the printed words before her. Instead, her thoughts wandered quietly to her father, observing the subtle change in his demeanor. Homer seemed calmer now, somehow stronger despite the disappointment he had faced. Lisa quietly admired his resilience, understanding deeply the true value of these quiet family moments. Bart, normally loud and energetic, was unusually quiet, sensing the peaceful atmosphere that enveloped their small family. He doodled quietly on a piece of paper, occasionally glancing up to study his parents and sister, absorbing the gentle warmth of their presence. It was rare for Bart to openly acknowledge the deeper meaning of these moments, but tonight, in his quiet way, he was learning an important lesson about what truly mattered. Homer broke the silence gently. "You know, Marge," he began softly, his voice barely above a whisper, "maybe you're right. Maybe not getting that bonus wasn't so bad. Maybe it reminded us of something much more important." Marge looked up, her knitting momentarily paused. Her eyes were warm and gentle as they met Homer's gaze. "I think so too, Homie," she replied quietly. "We have everything we really need, right here, right now. It's easy to forget, especially when things are tough. But tonight I remember." Homer reached out, gently taking her hand into his own, feeling a quiet sense of gratitude fill his heart. "You're amazing, Marge," he whispered softly. "You always know how to remind me what matters most." Lisa set her book aside, quietly joining the conversation. "Mom's right, Dad. Years from now, we won't remember the money we didn't get. But we'll definitely remember nights like tonight. These quiet moments, sitting together like this, they're the things we'll carry with us forever." Bart nodded, surprising everyone with his quiet sincerity. "Yeah, Dad. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it's true. I don't really remember what I got for Christmas last year. But I definitely remember us just hanging out together, being, family." Homer smiled gently, genuinely moved by his son's honesty. "You kids, you always surprise me," he murmured softly. "Sometimes you're smarter than I give you credit for." They all laughed gently, the warmth of their shared humor mingling with the gentle warmth from the fireplace. In that quiet laughter, any lingering sadness or disappointment dissolved gently away, replaced by something far deeper and more meaningful. Outside, the snowfall quietly intensified, creating a deeper stillness. Springfield seemed to pause gently beneath the weight of its soft, white blanket, as if the world itself recognized the quiet power of this simple family moment unfolding within the Simpson home. Sitting quietly with her family, Lisa's thoughts drifted to memories from previous years. She remembered clearly a similar winter, when things had been just as tough financially. Yet, even in those challenging times, they had always managed to find warmth, comfort, and joy in each other. Quietly, she realized how little material things truly mattered compared to these intangible moments of togetherness. Homer, lost in quiet thought, spoke again softly. "You know, this reminds me of when I was a kid. There were times when my dad would come home empty-handed around the holidays. We didn't have much, but somehow, we always found a way to celebrate anyway. My mom would bake something simple, we'd play games, or just sit and tell stories. I didn't get it then, but now I do." Lisa gently smiled, touched by her father's quiet reflection. "Maybe it's like a tradition," she suggested softly. "Not the empty-handed part, but the part where we realize what matters most. Each generation gets reminded, in different ways, that it's not about what we get, but who we're with." Marge gently nodded. Lisa's right. Each year, in different ways, we quietly remember that all the things that truly matter aren't things at all. They're right here in moments exactly like this. The family quietly absorbed these gentle truths, feeling the profound depth of their simplicity. Outside, the snow continued its silent dance, creating a hushed backdrop to their heartfelt reflections. And as I quietly share this story with you, dear listener, I find myself remembering my own moments of gentle revelation. I recall a Christmas long ago, my family facing similar struggles. Without gifts or elaborate celebrations, we sat quietly together, sharing stories, laughter, and simple joy. It was in that quiet simplicity that I first understood the profound strength and resilience of family, of quiet hope. Hope, my dear friends, is never really lost, it's simply waiting quietly to be found. And that Christmas, my family found hope precisely where the Simpsons found theirs. Not in envelopes or boxes, but quietly within ourselves, within each other. Tonight, as we close this gentle chapter, perhaps you too will reflect on your own quiet moments of strength and hope. Moments when everything else falls away, leaving only what truly matters. And perhaps you'll gently realize, just as the Simpsons did, that hope is always quietly with us, patiently waiting to be rediscovered. Outside, Springfield lay peacefully under its quiet blanket of snow, each home gently lit, holding within its walls similar stories of quiet hope and quiet strength. Inside the Simpson home, the fire softly crackled, casting gentle, dancing shadows around the family, illuminating not just their faces, but their hearts as well. In these quiet moments, each family member felt deeply grateful, not despite the empty envelope, but because of it. They quietly understood its hidden gift, its gentle reminder that true hope, genuine and lasting, is something we carry quietly within us, revealed most clearly during moments of quiet struggle and quiet triumph. My dear listener, as we gently part ways tonight, hold this quiet truth closely within your heart. Hope is never truly gone. It gently guides us through life's quieter moments, reminding us softly, constantly, that we are never alone. As the gentle snow continued to quietly fall, cloaking Springfield in comforting silence, something deeply profound settled over the Simpson family home. Inside their warm, softly lit living room, a gentle realization emerged, one that brought peace and quiet clarity to Homer's heart. Homer sat thoughtfully, his eyes following the gentle flicker of the firelight dancing across the room. Marge continued knitting quietly, the gentle click of her needles creating a calming rhythm in the tranquil space. Lisa, in her quiet wisdom, softly observed her family, aware that something subtle yet powerful had shifted within them all. Bart, usually so animated, had chosen to sit quietly, sketching softly on paper with slow, deliberate movements. Even he, with his carefree heart, understood something significant was quietly taking place. Each gentle brush of his pencil across the paper felt like a quiet acknowledgement of the deeper meaning unfolding around him. It was Homer who gently broke the silence again, his voice barely more than a whisper, filled with sincerity and quiet reflection. "You know," he began softly, his voice rich with emotion, "tonight reminded me of something important." Marge looked up gently from her knitting, her warm eyes quietly meeting Homer's gaze. "What's that, Homie?" she asked softly. Homer paused, thoughtfully gathering his words. "Sometimes the thing you think you need, the thing you want most, might not be the thing you actually need at all. It feels strange, but maybe Mr. Burns gave us a gift without even realizing it. That empty envelope. It taught me something tonight. Marge placed her knitting down softly in her lap, her eyes gentle and curious. And what's that? She asked quietly. Homer smiled gently, a soft warmth filling his heart. That all this time, we already had exactly what we really needed each other. I mean, it's easy to forget, you know. We get caught up in trying to make everything perfect. But maybe perfect is right here, right now, just like this. Marge nodded gently, her eyes shimmering softly with quiet tears of understanding. You're absolutely right, Homer, she said, her voice gentle yet strong. We're luckier than we realize. Lisa quietly joined in, her gentle voice filled with youthful wisdom. I think that's the real gift of nights like tonight, she said softly. We find out how strong we are, even when things don't go the way we hoped. It's funny how the hardest moments bring out the best in us. Bart gently nodded, surprising everyone with his thoughtful sincerity. Yeah, I guess sometimes you don't know how good something is until you think you might lose it. Like tonight. I never really thought about it before. But we're pretty lucky to have each other. Homer felt his heart quietly swell with pride, touched deeply by the gentle maturity he saw in his children. He reached softly for Marge's hand, feeling quietly grateful for this gentle, powerful realization. Tonight, Homer said softly, turned out to be the best bonus we've ever received. Not in money, but in something much deeper and quieter. Something I wouldn't trade for anything. Marge squeezed his hand gently, smiling warmly. And we have you to thank for that, homie. Your love and your heart, those are gifts we have every single day. Outside, the snow continued gently blanketing Springfield, covering every rooftop, every sidewalk, every street in quiet serenity. Inside, the gentle warmth from their fireplace quietly surrounded them, enhancing their newfound appreciation for each other, and for these quiet moments of reflection. As I share this story with you, dear listener, my thoughts softly drift to a similar memory of my own. There was a year in my childhood when my family faced similar quiet struggles. Money was scarce, and Christmas promised to be unlike any other we'd known before. My parents, quietly worried, did their best to hide it, but as children often do, I sensed their quiet anxiety. That Christmas Eve, instead of unwrapping gifts, we sat quietly around our modest little tree, gently illuminated by simple lights. My mother had baked cookies from ingredients found in the back of the pantry, and my father told quiet stories from his own childhood stories we'd never heard before, filled with gentle humor, quiet strength, and simple yet profound wisdom. That night, as we sat together, I learned a lesson I've quietly carried in my heart ever since. Hope doesn't reside in boxes or envelopes. It lives quietly within the hearts of those we love, gently reminding us that true wealth is measured not in money, but in moments exactly like this, quiet, gentle, and profoundly meaningful. I remember my father's voice clearly from that night, his gentle words soft yet deeply resonant. Kids, he said softly, the best gift you'll ever have is this, just being together. Don't ever forget that. And dear listener, I never did forget. Over the years, through gentle highs and quiet lows, that lesson remained softly etched into my heart. It quietly reminded me in times of struggle, in moments when hope felt distant, that it was never truly lost. It was simply waiting quietly, gently, to be rediscovered. Tonight, as we revisit the Simpson family, I hope their gentle realization resonates deeply within you as well. Perhaps you too have quietly faced moments when hope seemed to vanish, when what you expected failed to arrive. But perhaps, like the Simpsons, like my own family so many years ago, you also discovered something deeper, something quietly powerful. True hope never really leaves us. It simply changes form, gently guiding us toward deeper truths, toward quiet, meaningful connections that truly matter most. Hope, my dear friends, is never really lost. It's simply waiting quietly to be found. In Springfield that night, the Simpson family felt this truth gently yet profoundly. Homer sat with Marge's hand in his own, quietly feeling a renewed sense of gratitude for the simple, beautiful life they shared. Lisa quietly understood, perhaps more clearly than ever, the quiet strength her parents had always provided. Bart felt gently comforted by the soft certainty of family, knowing now what really mattered was right there beside him, quietly supporting him through every season. The empty envelope, initially seen as a disappointment, had become something much deeper, quietly revealing truths more valuable than any amount of money ever could. It had quietly taught them what mattered most to each other: quiet strength, gentle resilience, and the love that binds them tightly together, even through quiet challenges. My dear listener, as we gently conclude this quiet chapter tonight, remember that hope, the real, lasting kind, exists quietly within us all. It's the quiet strength we find when we least expect it, the gentle reassurance we offer one another in simple, meaningful moments. Tonight, as snow continues to fall gently upon Springfield, covering each home in a quiet promise of peace, may you find your own quiet moments of hope and strength. May you discover gently, quietly, that what truly matters most in this life isn't found in envelopes or boxes. It's quietly found in our hearts, in those gentle moments we share, and in the quiet understanding that we are never truly alone. Thank you for quietly sharing this gentle journey with me once again. I'm Lucy Vane, and until next time, hold close those quiet moments, the gentle moments that truly, deeply matter. Good night.